Mary Capital Junior High School, and it was for 7th through 9th grade. And it was a really great experience. I had dedicated teachers, but I always loved school. So I was one of the students who were on the honor roll. It was really a great experience, I think, because the teachers were dedicated and I had my friends, you know. So it was really fun to go to school and like feel special, because they really, the teachers, the teachers were phenomenal there. And we got kind of like the high school experience, because we would switch classes and I just learned a lot. Oh, absolutely, I did. I don't know, it just occurs as easy. It was really an easy time for me, and I had a lot of fun with my friends there. So I really want to hear about how, you know, through K through 8, because I know that everybody didn't have my experience. What interventions can we put in place so that children are ready for high school and that they're ready to graduate and then move forward? If it's that they don't want to go to college and they want to start their own business, that they get a wide variety. They're exposed to a variety of things and opportunities so that they are prepared for whatever they choose.
So what I'm looking to see and hear is some great innovative ideas, because none of us really know how it's going or where it's going. So I'm really looking to hear some new strategies about how to connect our children to quality education in this phase of their education.
I think that we really need to assess our facilities as far as this appropriate model for our students to really achieve, especially when you're looking at your middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. In addition, I think we need to really key in on our K through 3rd grade, our primary grades, to make sure that they have a readiness as far as reading and literacy in preparations for the high stakes testing.
I thought the panel was very informative. I think they were very knowledgeable about the material that they were bringing forth. And I think going forward, we would need to know a little bit more about how we're going to make the adjustments in the middle school component, as opposed to just dealing with K-8, if that's actually the most appropriate form of education for our kids, or does it need to be divided so that the social issues are addressed a little bit more, and the younger kids can feel a little bit more comfortable about being in the school separate and apart of kids that are much older age. The other part of it is that I think that we have not adequately addressed the fact that our kids come with deficits, and we try to adjust those deficits in the school, but in actuality, all we do is put band-aids on it and we move on, and those kids still remain as uneducated as they were when they first started. So those kids that are doing well will continue to do well. Those who come lacking certain skills, they almost remain at the same level throughout that through the entire education. So we need to really address that and make sure that we can move those kids forward as opposed to just passing them along. I think that's what's happening.
I think one of the biggest problems we have with K-12 is the problem that's age-old, and like I said earlier in my comments, is that we don't focus enough on emotional literacy. A lot of our kids, a lot of our adults are damaged, and a lot of times they can't focus in the classroom. So until we deal with that emotional side, as well as the academic side, we're going to always have this battle back and forth as why are students not performing? Why aren't they up to grade level? All right? And before we can analyze what's happening with them, we got to find out what's going on in their mind. And that's what I've been teaching adult education about 15 years, and something I always talk about with my students is, if you're not ready to learn, then I'm going to take a seat. I'm not going to do anything, because mentally, if I check out, I can be the greatest teacher in the world. I can have all the supplies you need. I can have the computers all over the place. But mentally, if you're not ready to perform, then what's the purpose? What's the sense? So, it's great that we're doing all this stuff about standards and core values and trying to analyze what's happening with some of our kids. But until we really get to the root of the matter, which is emotional in most cases, because a lot of times these kids are coming to the classroom under duress. They're under stress. You don't know what happened the night before. Some of those kids are raising themselves. Some of them may be homeless. But we as teachers we say, okay, I can't get involved with that personal stuff. My job is to do the academic stuff. But in order for the academic stuff to be successful, you have to find out what makes that student tick, what's going on in that student mind. You got to have that relationship, that conversation. That was one good thing we talked about tonight, is that relationship is something that they're going to focus on, because as a teacher, you got to be able to understand, I'm not just up here giving academics, I'm not just up here teaching math or social studies, but I'm talking to a real live human being who's got emotions, who's got feelings, something's going on with them, something's not going on with them. So until I tap into where that person is coming from, I'm not going to be as successful as I can be. I'm going to always have to teach to that middle, where I have some students who are going to outperform some students who barely get by, then you have that low performing student that doesn't do anything, he just checks out. So until we address those issues, we're going to have those constant problems. But I look forward to coming to more sessions and hopefully addressing more of the issues, if you will. All right.
I think the main thing that really struck me was the 3 R's, the relevance, relationships, and the rigor that is needed or required for our middle school students, and really focusing and keying in on those 6th grade graders in order to be effective in 7th and 8th grade. So that's the takeaway that I'm going to take back with me tonight. Dealing with the Common Core standards and how they're going to roll out as far as the state. That was some new information. In addition to how it's going to, we'll be working with other states throughout the nation to really do a massive range reform efforts as far as student accountability and really getting students prepared for college. And I think what's always surprising to me, or what's disheartening to me at times, is to see the data as it reflects the growth. When I consider dramatic gains, I focus on 10 to 20 percentage points, whereas we're still around 4 or 2 or even 5 points. So that's a concern that really stood out to me tonight.
Live out the true meaning of the creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.